to another episode of Stitches and Sprinkles. My name is Hillary, and this is my video podcast all about my crafty pursuits, especially sewing, knitting, and any sort of Cricut making. And I actually have a new hobby that I'm going to be trying, and I'll tell you guys about that as we continue this episode. So sorry it's been a minute. I seem to be having difficulty making a lot of time for recording, but especially editing these days. My yarn dyeing business is picking up a little bit. For those of you who don't know, I own and operate Garden of Eden Fibers, and I hand dye yarn. To this point, it's all been animal fibers, but I'm actually also spending some time learning about dyeing plant fibers so that I can make the leap into plant fibers as well. So it's been quite busy over here with the holiday markets and things like that. So before I forget, I am wearing my closet core t-shirt. Yes, it's wrinkly. I pulled it out of the laundry basket after I went swimming and showered on my lunch break from my full-time job. So it's another reason why it's kind of busy over here. And this is in a stripy knit that I got from Blackbird Fabrics as a Christmas gift last year. They do tend to bring stripy t-shirt knits back year over year, but they may not have exactly this stripe. But I do recommend checking out Blackbird if you need good material for some staple t-shirts. And on bottom, I have my trusty True Bias Lander pants in also from Blackbird Fabrics, a teak imperfect bull denim. And I will try to stand up for a moment so you can at least see a little bit. I did the button fly, regular pockets. These guys are super comfy. The one thing I don't really like about the Lander pants is the lack of size inclusivity, but hopefully they will be able to expand their size range in upcoming releases. I'm actually at the top of the size range, and that just seems like it leaves a lot of people out in the cold. So hopefully that's an opportunity for the future. So we'll jump right in. I will tell you about, I only have one finished sewing garment. I do have one finished object for knitting as well. So this past month, October, and then into the first week of November, I had the opportunity to work with one of my lovely friends, Michelle of Miche Quilts. I definitely recommend looking her up if you get the chance. And my other dear friend Jamie at Spool School, and we organized a Megan Nielsen Hovea quilt coat workshop. And so I had the opportunity to teach 6 folks in person and about 20 to 30 folks in an online format that Michelle organized through Instagram Live and a subscription platform. And we that actually went really well, so we hope to be able to do that again. But this was my sample for teaching and for making sure that I could lead my students through the pattern very, very confidently. So I did it was view D. So it's the longer coat with the quilting. And then I did the full pockets and no tie. So you can kind of see it there. I'll pop it on. Obviously, you won't be able to see the whole thing. And if I can get my husband to take a photo before this video releases, then maybe you'll be able to see it better. But it does go down just a little bit above my knee. I am not the tallest person, but it's still a very generously sized coat in terms of length. I made I believe, a straight 18 in the curve block. So Megan Nielsen has a Mrs. block and a curve block, and I used the curve block just because I like roominess and comfort, and it's a quilt coat, and so I wanted to go all in on the comfort factor. I chose a Sarah Watts for Ruby Star Society print with these awesome bees, and then I just did a couple of Kona solids for my accent. I believe this is berry, and this is like ballerina or something cute. Kona has cute names for their solids. They don't just call it like light pink, pink, dark pink. So very cute. And Michelle knows them all off the top of her head, which is hilarious. So that was great. We taught it over 3 weeks. So 3 consecutive Thursday nights. We did workshop time, and then we had a little bit of homework. So the students took their projects home and did some things on their own as well. Sorry, it's too warm in the house to wear that, which is shocking because it was cold this morning, to me at least. So I'm very proud of that, and it was such a pleasure and such a blast to teach that workshop. So that is my only finished object in terms of sewing, at least that I can remember, because it's been ages since I talked to you guys. And then the other, my other finished object is a pair of socks. And these are for me, so I can show you. No, there's no Christmas socks being spoiled in this moment. So I did Holly Yo's tiptoe up sock pattern, and it's super funny to try to hold up a pair of socks. I should have put these on the sock blockers. Let me go get the sock blockers, because this is silly looking blockers and do not look so crazy. So Holly Yo's tiptoe up sock pattern. I am generally a toe up person. I like being able to try them on and kind of see how they're feeling. And I'm still experimenting with finding my perfect sock recipe. So it's nice to be able to try them on as I go. I did ask for Katrinkle's sock ruler. She's got it's about, I guess, about yay big. And it allows you to slip the sock into it as you go and kind of measure, which would be nice for standardization and other things. So perhaps that will help me in the future. But this is a great pattern. You start with a Tunisian cast on at the toe, and then I added a slip stitch kind of arch support panel just because I like the stability that adds. I did that first with Summer Lee Knits basic or basic bundle or something like that. She's got a pack of 3, and she has that feature in one of those. But they're vanilla socks. It's a forethought heel, so you put in waste yarn and then pick up stitches after you work all the way up through the cuff. And I did these kind of a crew length because I already have quite a few shorties. I generally go for shorties, and I don't really like taller socks, just because I've always folded higher socks down, so why waste the yarn, right? And as far as the yarn is concerned, this is La Bien Aimée, her merino sock base in the colorway Curious Handmade. And I got this like a year and a half ago, so I don't even know if she has it anymore, but you can see just like the variety of color. It's, let me see if it'll stop focusing on my face. It's a beautiful colorway, and it's like all my favorite colors. There's like a little bit of mustard thrown in, a little pink, a little gray, a little green. So it's truly all the colors that I gravitate towards. So very, very perfect. Will be good in my winter wardrobe. I just need to block these and just trim off the tails that I wove in. I did weave my tails in right as soon as I finished for once in my life. So those are finished. I just need to give them a little bath, and I'll be ready to wear those. I would love to wear those with the outfit I have on right now. So we'll have to see about that. And I used my Oh Wow Amsterdam bag that my best friend bought me when she visited the La Bienname brick and mortar before they closed. I'm so sad I never got to go. So yes, very good. Those are done. I have more stickers from Pip Sticks in here because they came in the mail and I was trying to hide them from my daughter because I didn't want my 2.5-year-old to steal my stickers. I will share with her, but I didn't want her to try to steal them all and stick them all over the place. So there you go. Let's talk works in progress. So I have, one second. I have a Helen's Closet Reynolds dress going right now. It is almost done. It is in this beautiful linen, yarn-dyed linen, I believe, from Blackbird Fabrics. I'm a creature of habit. I think it was Marina was maybe the colorway. This, I'm pretty sure this is gone. I got this over the summer, and it was super duper popular, and they've just had a huge Black Friday Cyber Week sale, so it's probably gone, but this is a lovely, lovely fabric. And for those not familiar, the Reynolds dress is, it's kind of a wide strap, straight across neckline, so it ultimately makes the square neckline. There's a facing so that you don't have to deal with finishing that neckline in a precarious way, and then it's a split hem, and I did the maxi length version, and I did include the pockets. I plan to layer this up. I have some merino wool knit in kind of a golden ochre color. It's just a little bit darker than this, so I plan to layer this up with a mock turtleneck underneath it for the winter, and then this will be wonderful in the summertime as well. But if you haven't tried linen for the winter, it's cooling, of course. Everybody thinks of linen as like a summer spring fabric, but it can also be quite warm. So yeah, I'm gonna try that, and I am just adoring the way that my Bernina L890 is performing still. I know I gushed about it when I got it, and his name is Haku. Spirited Away, for those who know. I'm loving it. I've lived with him in my studio for, I guess I got him in July, and he's just fantastic. He's been the best addition, and I was able to find a great home for my old baby lock. Nothing wrong with her, just kind of outgrew her. So really, really happy with that. And other works in progress. So for those who have managed to avoid seeing the Stephen West Mystery Knit Along, I don't know how you've avoided it, but if you want to continue to avoid it, please stop listening right now. Stop watching and skip ahead a couple of minutes, because I'm going to show my progress, and I am not anywhere near done. I am in Clue 2, so if you've already seen Clue 2 and you don't care, feel free, but if you don't want to see it, then this is your last warning. Okay, all right, here we go. So the Stephen West Mystery Knit Along is long over. It is long, long over. And I did not join it when it first began. But then I saw this middle section and these braidy loopy things, and I just had to try it. And sorry, the lighting is quite bad in here right now. I'm going to hold it over my face and see if it'll get better. But, oh yeah, you can see the colors better now. These are my colors, so Garden of Eden Fibers colors. This is caramel apple as my contrast color. I've got winter berry as my main color. And then every third main color stripe, I added my winter berry and my Surrey silk alpaca as well. And so that's my main section. I finished Clue 1, and I have done, let me please make sure I don't drop any stitches because I will cry. I have finished one wing of Clue 2. That is my polar teal color. These are my winter palette colors, my winter 2022 palette colors. They are still available on my website. It's gardenofedenfibers.com, Fibres. So yeah, that's where I'm at. I have put this down for a moment because for those of you who've done it, you know it's very labor intensive. I'm really glad that there's not as much casting on and casting off and casting on and casting off in Clue 2 as there was in Clue 1, because I was almost ready to throw in the towel about halfway through Clue 1. But then I picked up those socks that I showed you as a palette cleanser. Just when I was ready to throw my shawl across the room, I would pick up my sock and just knit a couple stockinette rows on my sock and remind myself that knitting is fun. And this is fun too, but casting on and casting off continuously can be tiring, especially when you've had a long work day. So that's where I am. This is not, I have no time frame for finishing this, to be honest. I was joking around with one of my best friends saying I'll finish it in 18 months. I'll finish it before the next MCAL starts. So we'll see. I have some other things that have been languishing on the needles that will probably wear more and would prefer to finish those first. So it's good. I'm going to put these stitches on hold and probably just put this back in its bag for a couple weeks. Maybe I'll work on it when I take some time off over Christmas. We'll see. But it's fun. Don't get me wrong. Stephen West is brilliant. He is an absolute genius. And it's actually been really fun to work with exclusively with my own colors on this project and see how the palette plays together, because I had a vision, but obviously I don't get to knit up every single colorway that I dye. So I am with this, and I'm very pleased with it. And it's very nice to look at something, oh, I did that. So anyway, my other whip is another pair of socks. There we go. Got it. So I am doing, and I may have talked about these a long time ago, like a long, long time ago, because they've been on the needles for over a year. But this is a pattern from Nomadic Knits, issue 7, the Michigan issue. I got this from the Traveling Yarn Yogi, Angie, who is just lovely. If you're in the southeastern United States, she goes to breweries, she goes to fiber festivals. She has like an old mini church bus that she's taken all the seats out except the driver's seat, and it's a mobile yarn shop. It's absolutely amazing. And Angie's lovely. And the bus's name is Pearl, which is too cute. So I am doing the Shoreline socks by Tracy Miller of the Grocery Girls. I love Tracy and Jody. They're fantastic. And I have the right sock done. Let me put this one on the sock blocker as well so you can see it a little bit better. So that is the right sock. You can see the shore line where it gets its name. And let me get my face out of here. There you go. So, and this is also La Bien-Aimée. Also her, I believe she calls it Super Sock or something to that effect. But this is the colorway Air Guitar. and this is another older colorway. Another one that my very dear friend brought me when she brought me that bag from her trip to Paris and her visit to the old yellow La Bien-Aimée atelier that is no more. But they are still in the Lil Weasel shop. And the last time that same friend went to Paris, she went to Lil Weasel and got me stuff from Lil Weasel. So not sad. But it's a fun color, and I am on sock number 2. I am doing the heel flap. I started the heel flap last night while we were watching Yellowstone. Oh my gosh, we're so obsessed. I know we're like 3 years behind everybody else, but if you haven't started, it's really good. If you like Western-y kind of stuff. If you don't, then just ignore me. But this is the left sock, so this colorway is just so fun because you can see like the differences in the pooling, and I'm gonna be very happy to show off the unique and like all. Again, this is another colorway that has like all my favorite colors in it. Every time I get to a little spot of the peachy pinky, I'm just thrilled with the talent of the La Bien-Aimée team. So, and these are slower going for me. Oh, I just dropped my cable needle. These are slower going for me. I'm not very quick at cables, but that's okay. The point is not to be quick. The point is to have fun. Just like my swimming, the point is not to be quick. The point is to have fun. So that's my other work in progress. I don't have any other active works in progress right now. Hopefully if I finish those socks, I can pick up my wrapped in Graybow shawl again, because all I have left to do is the last accent color and the Pico bind off, and then I'll be done with that. But I think one of my mini skeins got tangled or something, and I just got frustrated. So anyway, I'll get there. Acquisitions. I have gotten a couple of things since I last talked to you guys. It's always interesting because when you own your own yarn company, you can constantly be acquiring by like keeping a color of every skein, but obviously I don't do that because my cabinet would fill up way too fast. I have kept a couple things. The yarn that I needed for my Stephen West shawl, and a sock set that I dyed up recently that I just fell in love with, and I'll show you guys that in a second. But let me show you my fabric acquisitions first. All right, fabric acquisitions. So I am very fortunate to live near String and Story on Main, which is a local quilting and sewing shop in Duluth, Georgia. And they recently got the Fabulism wovens. Sorry, I pre-washed it and it came out of the dryer, so it's a little wrinkly. But I got a few yards of this raspberry and powder blue colorway, and my plan for this is a Closet Core Cali shirt dress with long sleeves. I bought the sleeve expansion pack for the Cali because I really like the Cali, and I think I'm going to do the tunic length with long sleeves so that I can throw this on with some tights or some leggings and just go. And I also got half a yard. Yeah, I think it's a half yard cut of the Fabulism Sprouts wovens. Let's see if hopefully that turns out better for you guys. To do the placket cuff facings and the collar stand facing, so that there's just like a little pop of contrast, and it will pick up on the that powdery blue. It's kind of a chambray almost, so nice neutral. Should look cute. And that's a tried and true pattern for me. I've done that one a couple times, so I'm excited about it. I definitely have more yarn acquisitions than fabric acquisitions because my fabric stash is in pretty good shape. I took you guys through a fabric haul a while ago, and I've got fabric to last me a minute. And I also haven't been sewing as much for myself because I've been sewing for my business and sewing for gifts and some other things for teaching. So I need to whittle that down, or I would like to whittle that down before I add too much more fabric for my own personal wardrobe use. So the other thing that I have gotten recently is the newest issue of Pom Pom magazine. I subscribe to Pom Pom, and I have for the last couple of years. It's about the only magazine that I buy, and I immediately fell in love with this Welkin. It's called the Welkin Cardigan, and it's by Marjana Kolacek. I hope I said that right. And it is a cardigan that has the features of a blazer, and I just think that's so cute. So I have added that to my mental to make list, and we'll see when that actually happens. There's also just some cute accessory patterns. To be honest, I don't knit a whole lot of the patterns out of, or I haven't knit a whole lot of the patterns out of. I really like this one too. The Dagen pullover by Audrey Borrego. But I really enjoy the quality of publishing, the quality of the paper, supporting makers, because Pom Pom is all about independent makers and usually independent yarn dyers as well. So it's fun to look at, even if I don't always make the patterns. I am still working on the Fox Thoughts cardigan from like 2 years ago's issue. So maybe when I finish that, I'll move on to another Pom Pom sweater pattern. There were some in the spring issue that really caught my eye, so maybe I'll work on that when I finish my Fox Thoughts. But we'll see. It's fine. I'm not flustered at all by it. Okay, the other acquisition is super duper exciting. So after I had a nice market success this month, November, I decided to pay myself by buying some yarn and some fiber, so that leads me into the whole other thing, from Stash Lounge, which is in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. And I found out about them through Susan, who is KnitLib. And I decided that I wanted to do this because my very good friend gave me an antique spinning wheel to learn to use. And I am just like so over the moon. So I have been tuning the spinning wheel up, getting comfortable with the treadle control, and trying to work on tensioning and feeding. And so I bought myself some Lily and Pine fiber. I have heard Susan talk about Lily and Pine on her podcast for years, and I love the colorways that she achieves. So this is a Corriedale combed top. This is a Polwarth combed top in a colorway that was exclusive to Stash called Okanagan Peach. Don't know if they have any of this left. And this is another Polwarth combed top. Yellow and pink are my colors. Those are my two favorite colors. So if you know me, you know that I was going to pick this, and I was going to pick this. And this was kind of, I saw a suggestion from Jillian Evie on, her name is Evie, and her channel is Jillian Eve. And she suggested that Corriedale is a good place to start. So I decided to get a a combed top of Corriedale as well. But the Polwarth color spoke to me, so what was I going to do but buy it? So that is my newest adventure that I teased at the beginning. I'm going to learn to spin, and I am so excited. And this may actually lead to me dyeing roving and combed top for Garden of Eden fibers, but we'll get there when we get there. I want to make sure that I can actually do it first, and that I can, that I have enough familiarity with the different types of fibers and the different breeds that I can pick out good quality fiber for my customers, because I don't want to be going into that blind. So got those, very excited. This is going to be my first one, the Corriedale, in this blues with a little purple and green to it, and I'm excited. I might make something for my daughter out of this one. We'll see. She'll probably pick the pink like mama. I also got myself a sock set. This is also Lily and Pine, and this is the sock set called Freshly Squeezed. It's her Daylily sock base, which is 80/20 superwash merino and nylon. And I was pleasantly surprised to find that this is a very generously sized sock set. So it's 115 grams or 420 yards, and 25 grams for the mini, which is 90 yards. So that's a lot. Most sock sets are 100 grams and 20 grams. So this is a full 40 grams more than most sock sets. And it's just really nice, happy colors, but also with a little bit of undyed space, which I like. And you'll see that in a second too, and what I just dyed up. The other thing I got myself from Stash are some new ChalGoo cords. So I got 2 twist cords, a large and a mini, to add to my collection. And I also got a small Swiv 360 cord to try out, because it's new and I thought it would be fun to try. And I got, all of these are 37, well, these 2 are 37 and the mini is 30 inches, because I tend to go for a longer cable. So got those 2. And I got a Nitty Knotty from Katrinkles. So this is a 1 yard Nitty Knotty. I thought it would be helpful as I begin my spinning journey. And then they sent me a nice little card. Their shop looks beautiful. I would love to visit them one day. And there's their info, their hashtags, their Instagram name. If you're not following them yet, I definitely recommend it. Super cute shop. Like I said, would love to go there one day. I have 2 more acquisitions, and I have a book to tell you about. So we're getting there. We're getting there. This is getting longer. This is going to be like my longest episode ever. Okay, I'm reaching down for my other acquisitions. I cannot show you one of them because it is a gift for a friend who watches this podcast, and I don't want to spoil it. There is a new yarn store in my area. So Unwind Knit Studio has opened in Milton, Georgia. It's like between Milton and Alpharetta, I think. The lines get very blurry to me, but close to Alpharetta, if you know where that is. And they have really, really fabulous selection. And the space that Chicky and Melissa have created is so beautiful. High ceilings, so much natural light. They have Hue Loco. They have Life in the Long Grass. They have, oh gosh, they had a ton. They had the backyard chickens from Hue Loco, which are so cute, and I was super duper tempted, but I pulled myself back and I was like, buy what you need and then buy other people presents that you were going to buy presents for anyway. So that's what I can't show you is presents. But I did pick up, let me take this out so you don't see the glare on the bag. These are It says Archer Knits, so I assume they're made by Archer Knits. No sew tags, and this one that I got says hand knit, and it's got the ball of yarn, and they come with the little hardware to attach it. So I got a set of 5 to add to gifts as I work on gifts during the holiday season and beyond. And I also got myself a new flavor of soak wash. I got Pineapple Grove this time. I have been working off of a bottle of yuzu, and that stuff lasts forever and it smells so good. But I got Pineapple Grove this time, and I'm very excited to. It'll also encourage me to wash some things. Sorry, Linus is coming to say hello to you. Can you say hello, Linus? He's a goodest boy. He has an air tag because he's an escape artist, and I don't want him to get lost. I do have one more thing to show you. 1 second. We're back. Linus and I are back. I mentioned before that I try not to keep what I dye, but I did a sock set recently. It was a very gloomy day, and I really just wanted brightness and sunshine and happiness. And so I did this sock set with a 50-gram main color, and I got all these beautiful pinks and peaches and yellows into it. And then I did a 20-gram brightest blue and a 10-gram neon Kelly green. And first of all, I did the 50-gram main skein because normally I have yarn left over. Like I said before, I like crew and shorty socks. And I know there's a lot of other people who prefer crew and shorty socks too. So it brings the price down a little bit, and it means that you don't have extra odds and ends sitting in your stash if you don't want it. Yeah, and I did the minis with some Summerly Knits designs in mind, like her pop radio socks. I think that's what I'm going to end up doing with it, and have the blue be my dots or my pops, and obviously the large skein be my main color, and then do like some accent, either like cast on and do a couple rows in the green so that there's just a pop at the cuff, and then like a couple rows before I go in fully into the toe or something like that, just to make it super fun and crazy. So that is one thing that I dyed up recently that I didn't plan on keeping that I did keep, because I got really excited with the way it turned out. So those are all the acquisitions that I can show you. I'm just looking around to make sure I haven't forgotten anything. I don't think I have. The last thing I'll talk to you about is what I've been enjoying lately. I already mentioned Yellowstone. My husband and I have really enjoyed watching that show. I'm also super obsessed with White Lotus on HBO Max. Huge fan of Aubrey Plaza and Theo James both, and I think Jennifer Coolidge is her name. She's just hysterical. She was in the first season. Her and her husband are the only carryovers from the first season, if you've seen that one. If you haven't seen White Lotus and you like kind of a dark comedy with a little bit of suspense in it, I definitely recommend it. It's very, very good. I'm going to go watch the episode after I finish filming. And then the other thing is this, what I just finished reading, which is The 7.5 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle. I can't remember if I talked about this on here before or not, but I had a really, really hard time getting into this book. And then once I got about 60% of the way through, it was hard to put down. So, again, I've been in like a murder mystery kick lately. Before that, it was The Guest List. Before that, it was The Paris Apartment. So I'm definitely feeling murder mysteries again, which is funny because after I had my daughter, I did not want anything to do with murder mysteries. No Criminal Minds, no Law and Order, no nothing. And now I'm okay with it again. So that's 7.5 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle. It ended up being very good, very interesting, some nice twists and turns. I may look into another, I think it was Stuart Turton is the author. I may look into another one of his books after I finish A Court of Wings and Ruin, which is what I'm reading now. So back to Sarah J. Maas, back to where I was before I picked up a couple of murder mysteries, which is great. So yeah, looking forward to the holidays, hopefully doing another market on December 10th in Lawrenceville, Georgia. So if you're in the area, please come say hello. I will be dying as much as I possibly can this week and next week. My best friend is coming to visit me this coming weekend for my birthday. Excited about that. So yeah, things are good. I would love to hear from you in the comment section if you are working with my yarn, if you're working on any of the patterns that I mentioned, if you know of any other good local yarn stores that I can check out, or any spinning resources. I would love more spinning resources. Right now I'm just scouring and kind of trying to sort through the good from the bad. So if you know where the good is already, that would be super duper helpful, and I would appreciate it very much. But I hope everybody has a great week. It's post-Thanksgiving week here in the States, and we're hot and heavy towards Christmas. So support small local businesses where you can, and I hope you find time for creativity this week, and to give space for your talents and whatever you enjoy doing, especially in this busy holiday season. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.